What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen this I was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Zohran Mamdani. Telling y'all, this interview I wanted to show. I haven't seen the whole interview. I want to say a few seconds of the interview. Y'all know I like watching stuff with y'all. And giving y'all the truth, about a lot. Cause the clip that I did see, it's nothing but lies coming out of his mouth. Like always. Check it out right here.
So how is the new mayor handling it? Let's ask him. Joining us, Zohran Mamdani, New York City's mayor. Thank you for being here.
Real pleasure to be on. How's it going?
It's going okay. I mean, you tell me, when I walk out of this office a little bit later, am I going to be walking into a pile of snow up to my hip, or will the streets be clean and clear, and will the subways be working?
It is going to be the focus of our administration. I can tell you that public transit is continuing across New York City, albeit with delays given the historic amount of snowfall. But it's as you said, we had a historic winter storm not too long ago. Now we have our first blizzard since 2016. And we've seen about, 19 to 20 inches across the city. But there are certain parts of the city, including in eastern Staten Island, where it's up to 24 inches. And so that's really been the focus of our response is how do we get 2,600 men and women from our sanitation department working 12-hour shifts across the city, and that's what they've been able to do. It's why they've just completed their first pass of every city road across the 5 boroughs.
How do you deal with the snow that builds up on the side of the road? I mean, we had that historic snowfall, then we had a lot of cold, and it lingered for a while. A member of the New York City Council got very angry about all the dog poop that was out there, and I will say it mirrored my own anger about the dog poop. So what do you do?
I feel like him doing that though, like maybe I'm the only one, when it comes to his smile that he does, but it's real irritating. And it's not really a smile that matters, seeing how individuals have passed away about this. You really have snow on side of the roads, on the sidewalks. You have dog feces, and who knows who else is, when it comes to feces on side of the on the sidewalks. And y'all know, within it being, New York City is busy, people walking through, you have trash. I definitely don't feel like it's a laughing matter, of the disaster, that happened last time.
In terms of not just removing the snow that remains on the sidewalks and, on buildup on the curbs, but also all of the trash that gets buried underneath it.
I think it's a few things. The first is that in the prior winter storm, we had a unique set of circumstances where we did not have temperatures rising as they typically do after that kind of snowfall. We instead, as you said, had the kind of prolonged cold that was described as Arctic. In fact, there was a period where it was colder in New York City than it was in Antarctica. And that meant that the snow that would have otherwise melted hardened and came into ice. So the city, we actually set up a number of snow melters. These are quite literally hot tubs for ice that we then grind them down into water. We had them across every one of the 5 boroughs so that we could grind this snow down. But as you've said, sometimes in that time of snowfall, New Yorkers forget that the rule still applies that you have to clean up after your dog. That just because there is snowfall does not mean that that is now a responsibility you don't have to take care of. We are going to see, however, in this blizzard's aftermath, temperatures come back into the 40s in the next few days. So that is going to greatly.
One thing that, I don't understand is that I can't even say that I get that he's mad, because he shouldn't be. You being a mayor and you so-called is supposed to be like this individual that's supposed to look out and give free stuff and be this nice guy. But in any given situation, you blame other people for your mess up.
We assist basically our city's response to this kind of snowfall. Our DSNY sanitation workers will be focused primarily on snow response as we continue to deal with the blizzard. As soon as they are done with that, we are then going to be laying out a plan for what trash collection is going to look like in our city.
Did you deal differently with the unhoused population this time around? Because there was some criticism as to what happened to a number of people during the last storm and the cold snap. 19 outdoor deaths, 19. That's a really high number. There were 7 indoor deaths as well, potentially linked to bad heating or no heating at all. Did you change your strategy? And are you confident that everybody who was out in the streets got inside and survived?
So as of now, we have no deaths reported from this blizzard from being outside or in a public area. And we have also been looking to
And it also just started, by the way.
utilize every single method of outreach that we have. We have more than 500 homeless outreach workers who have been traversing the 5 boroughs, looking to connect homeless New Yorkers with services and support. And what we've also learned is the tools that were effective over the course of the prolonged cold period, again, a historic period of sub-freezing conditions, those are ones we've employed from the very first day of our response to this one. I'll give you one example. A number of those New Yorkers who lost their lives, the preliminary indications came that it was from an overdose-related death. And so we worked with our overdose prevention centers to keep them open, not just during the weekday hours that they would typically have.
Bro, there's no way they're blaming this on overdose. I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's no legit way they're blaming this on overdose. There's no legit way he's blaming this on overdose. He even said himself. I'm gonna show y'all a clip. He even said himself, and I made sure. I'm so glad I put this clip. This link into this because y'all know I'm gonna give y'all the truth. He said himself about this. That's the thing. But now he switched up, and he loves switching up. He done switched up, y'all. And now this is from overdose. Bro, like, even if, like, that's nothing to sit there and man, I'm telling y'all, man. He doesn't. This is where it starts of not taking accountability. I'm gonna show y'all though.
But over the course of the weekend night. So they are open not just last night, but also tonight. And that has been critical in saving New Yorkers' lives.
Let's talk about New York City schools. I heard that they will be open tomorrow, which is great for most parents. How are you going to manage that? How do you get all those kids back to school safely, given the amount of snow that we've seen?
I think it comes from a whole of government response, frankly, to the snow. It's not just DSNY, it's also DOE. We have 8,000 DOE employees who've been spending yesterday and today preparing the schools, the outer surfaces as well, such that parents, students, teachers, staff can have a safe way to get to schools. And that's what we're going to see tomorrow. And that's going to be our focus over the course of these next few hours, especially as the worst of the storm has passed. It means we can really focus on the cleanup to make sure our city gets back on its feet starting tomorrow.
And in terms of remote school days, last time there was a snowstorm, it was a remote learning day, which is frankly awful for parents and for kids and for teachers alike. I think nobody likes it. You made a decision this time around not to do a remote learning day. Why?
So the city operates under state law, which requires us to offer 180 days of instruction. And what we found in this time, you might describe it as a perfect storm of conditions, where it wasn't just a historic blizzard. It was also the fact that we were coming off of a week break for students and for teachers. A number of those students and teachers were going to be potentially stranded in getting back in time for Monday schooling. So with all of these circumstances, we went to the state, we applied for a waiver, and we're truly grateful to the State Commissioner of Education for granting us that waiver, which means the city does not have to pay upwards of $50 million because we did not engage in remote learning yesterday. Instead, we could provide a good old-fashioned snow day, the likes many of us, we grew up here, we loved it, and now it's a chance for the next generation.
Yeah, my kids are certainly happy.
I'm here to tell y'all Zohran is full of shit. I say this because I can't stand a person that definitely, like, it all comes within accountability. I mean, we're human. Nobody's perfect. But it comes about of accountability. And you have to take that. Listen what he says here, y'all. It literally says Mayor Mamdani admitted on Wednesday that 17 New Yorkers passed away outside during this cold stretch. It literally says in 13 of those cases, mind y'all, he said, and most of it was overdose. They're saying 3. And mind y'all, this was just the number 13. They're saying it's over 19. But this was just when it had first, obviously started. It was 13. Okay. I said that wrong. 13. So it was 17 at the time. It's over 20. 13 of those cases, hypothermia. 3 of them was overdoses, and then 1 case remains unknown. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Regardless of this 3 cases of overdoses, again, I'm not making up an excuse because people have those addictions, but you gotta think, bro. You outside in the cold, what you think they gonna do? And I'm not even trying to make joke. I'm not even trying to do none. Like, you outside in the cold. I mean, and I'm not even trying to like make it sound bad or like be the bad person about this. I'm just trying to make it make sense, to a lot of individuals, because I truly just don't understand how you sit there and you lie about something like this and then say all the causes. Most of these causes was because of overdose. Knowing it is freezing outside, these individuals don't have homes. They're on, these drugs and this, that, and the other. I'm telling y'all, bro, like, I don't get it. Me personally, they're saying it's overdoses, but how I feel about it, I truly feel like, if not all, those cases were due to it being extremely cold outside.
As of this morning, 17 New Yorkers have passed away outside during this code blue. In 13 of these cases, preliminary findings indicate that hypothermia played a role. 3 of these deaths appear to be overdose-related deaths, while 1 remains unknown. As of this morning, 17 New Yorkers have passed away outside.
My point exactly. But then he gets on here and says something completely different. He's a liar. I'm telling y'all. He's definitely a liar. Literally has it right here. This is Latinia Brown. Literally, this is the New York Post, right? This is New York Post. Literally saying New York City medical examiner rules 15 people passed away of brutal cold outside during deep freeze. But again, he goes and lies. He literally goes and lies. And that's what's sad about it. I'm telling y'all, it's very, very sad and sickening that he's doing stuff like this. Mind y'all, it gets worse with and y'all heard me say he's the king of switching up. Because again, he's done it here. This is the original. I know a lot of y'all have seen, more and more about individuals, or I'm not even going to say individuals because he's not getting the help. And I'm going to show y'all again why. Zohran Mamdani put out something, and I'm sure y'all seen this, of helping out shovel bus stops, crosswalks, fire hydrants. I'm going to just read it. It says emergency snow shovelers are called on after heavy snow falls to remove snow and ice citywide from public areas, like I call it, bus stops, crosswalks, fire hydrants, step streets, areas, business, people have to go through. Says we recruit temporary. This is by day, shovelers as needed. The pay starts at $19.14 per hour and increases to $28.71 per hour after the first 40 hours worked in a week. Mind y'all, me personally, when you see this and you just reading through the small that small fine print, you can definitely tell like this is some bogus. It's bogus. It's one of those things of like it's too good to be true, and it ain't really too good. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, you hear people saying that obviously things have gone up in price because of these individuals. Like Zohran. You see people that has a comment and make comments and say, well, we may get paid that, but you have taxes. That's gonna take that down. So you're really not even getting paid $19 or $28. So you have that. So so to be eligible, you have to be 18. You have to be eligible to work in the United States. Y'all, this is so crazy because thinking this is why people are so outraged about it. Because to vote, they're not worried about none of this. Able to perform heavy physical labor. Registration. Now, this is the kicker. And this is what I mean by it switches up after a while. And it's the reason on why. You have to bring 2 small photos. 2 small photos, and they literally have the dimensions you have to bring. Mind y'all, and it's crazy because they don't do none of this when it's time to vote. None of this. 2 original forms of ID plus copies. Mind y'all, 2 small photos and then 2 original forms. So when they're saying 2 small photos, you literally have to bring, and the lady said, it was a lady actually, and I'm mad at myself that I didn't put that in there, but I put it in from yesterday's video, I'm pretty sure. but she went in and you have to go print off a picture of yourself, 2 small photos of yourself, different. Whether it's at home, CVS, wherever. Then you have to bring those 2 original forms of ID, and plus copies. And then you got to bring your social security card. Well, people were very outraged about it. If y'all haven't seen, I'm sure a lot of y'all seen, it literally went everywhere. It has spread everywhere, and people were pretty outraged about it. Not only, obviously, people that didn't support Mamdani, but you literally have people that supported and voted for Mamdani. And again, I'm not surprised. I mean, you try your best to tell people and give people, facts and let them know what's going on. And still, literally still, they go and do, they go and vote, they go and support, they go and protest, they do the most. And then when stuff like this happens, they become outraged. But, we told you so. He switched up, though. Says Mamdani is backpedaling. No one was wanting to make $19 an hour. And he was asking 5 forms of ID. Now he's trying to butter up residents by offering $30 an hour and only 2 forms of ID now, y'all. Check it out.
Amidst this, DSNY has been hard at work to expand their supervision capacity for the snow shoveler program. And as of today, they can now deploy 1,800 New Yorkers per shift. Due to the historic nature of this blizzard, we've increased pay to $30 per hour. You can walk into any DSNY garage until 8 p.m. this evening and then starting again at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All you need to bring is 2 forms of ID to ensure you get paid.
Somebody said I thought New York is broke. How the heck is he paying people $30 an hour? Man, I'm telling y'all. When I tell y'all, somebody said still wouldn't do it. I'm telling y'all, bro. Like, this is absolutely insane to me. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely sickening. And you can definitely see straight through a person. But again, this is what people have voted for. This is what people supported. And I have people in the comments saying, oh, that's what New York City gets and this, that, and the other. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody in New York City obviously didn't vote for Mamdani. I'm not making up excuses for anybody. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying, like, people didn't. And, you have other people in the comments, well, people that didn't support him probably have already moved on, whether if it's here, whether it's there. Let me tell y'all something. Some people can't. And I wanted to make sure I say this. Some people can't. Some people can afford to. And that's what's sickening about it. But then again, those same people that have supported him, that has now turned on him because of his mom's situation, when it comes down to it, I'm sure y'all know what that is. When it's him that it literally has been causing nothing but destruction. I'm telling y'all. Definitely insane. One thing about it, you literally have, says Zohran wants to make sure, we as, and it, again, he's definitely, and I want to make sure I got my last link in here. He wants to change New York as much as possible. He wants to change New York as much as possible. And it's definitely sad and sickening that he's doing this. I'm telling y'all, it's definitely sad and sickening that he's doing this. And, I know that, so many people, you literally have here. I'm going to just show y'all. This right here. And this is obviously new. He puts grateful for the public workers who keep New York City running, especially in a blizzard. Says right here, let me go back. Zohran wants to make sure we know Muslims are apparently in charge of the snow removal and that we see them praying to whatever they pray to, I guess. This is part of the Islamic conquest. Mass prayers in the streets, call to prayer, blasting 5 times a day throughout the city, and the mayor literally putting Islam first. I'm telling y'all. Both his in-hires and his public media, and the message is very clear, we are being replaced. And that's what people are not realizing, that they're truly, truly being replaced. And it's definitely sad that, and it shouldn't even be like this. It shouldn't be like this. But at the same time, those individuals that didn't want to listen to myself, listen to other individuals, listen to y'all, because I'm sure y'all shared it. I'm sure y'all not only share my videos, but stuff that's on, X, that's on, and letting people know. But you slowly see, you even seen it before, though. You seen it. You seen it like weeks ago, months ago. You know what I'm saying? You seen it, and still try to tell people, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. As y'all see, I'm telling y'all. One thing about it, some definitely, and I don't, want to be this individual to be negative, but I truly feel as if it needs a complete turnaround. He's definitely not right for New York City at all. At all. I've never been to New York City. I always want to visit, but it's definitely over with. It's definitely over with. I just feel like it's definitely it definitely has changed, and it's changing not only in New York City too, in other areas, and it's definitely sickening. That's why it is definitely important for people to pay attention and realize what's going on. Let me know your comments, thoughts down below. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.